This is a game that we play with our employees. Every new employee is required to play this game the first day on the job. And the way it works is you have these 9 dots on the screen right here. And now you have 4 lines, 4 straight lines to connect all of these 9 dots. And you have to figure out how to do it. Now what happens, I'm going to use a different color marker here, is most people do it like this. They start by going down here and they say, okay, there's 1 line. Then maybe they'll cut back this way and say, all right, that's 2. Then maybe they'll come back up 3 and now they get stuck. They think, okay, I got these 3 lines. Now where do I go? Do I go back here? Do I go here? But I'm missing something because either you can go here or here, but you can't touch all 9 dots. When in reality, the way that you do it is you have to break out of your traditional thinking. You can't keep thinking with an invisible box around you. And the way you do it is like this. Let me actually go back to the black marker so you can see it easily. So you start by going through these 3 dots just like normal. Then we're gonna go a little bit further down. You break that invisible ceiling. You break that invisible wall around you. And then you're gonna come back up like this. And then you're gonna come back this way and then finish it up right there. Because now what you're doing is you're breaking out of this invisible box, and the reality is many of us, regardless of where you are in your life, have some sort of invisible barrier, some sort of invisible box that we put on ourselves. And in order for you to achieve the next level of success, whatever it might be, whether it's saving $2,000 or making millions of dollars, you have to be able to break through that barrier, which requires you to change the way that you think. And the reality is many of us are our biggest roadblock. Now the reason why we do this at our company is because we want our team members to be able to think out of the box. But the thing that really got me to want to do these types of exercises was I used to guest teach at a public school in Detroit. Now Detroit has been hit very hard and you have some very rough neighborhoods. And the school that I used to go guest teach at, to give you some perspective, you'd have multiple metal detectors when you'd walk in, you'd have police all around the school, and then you'd have these barricades at every corner. That way if a fight breaks out, that somebody could pull this barricade and shut the hallway down so people don't rush to where the fight is. That was the environment that I was in. And many of these kids in high school were already affiliated with gangs. They were already affiliated with what everybody would call bad things. So I'd go into these classrooms and talk to kids about life and motivation and success, and to get people excited about what is possible.
So what do we need? We need more good people with money.
And so I would do this exercise where I would ask the kids, what is your dream car? And I would get answers like a Dodge Challenger or a Ford Mustang, which, they're decent cars. But then I would follow up by asking the kids, why not a Bugatti? Why not a Lamborghini? Why not a Rolls Royce? Why not something really exotic? And the answer that I got was that somebody like me, in this circumstance, in this neighborhood, could never have a car like that. Now I want you to think about that for a second. That means these kids are programmed to believe not only that they can't become successful, but that you can't even dream to become successful. You can't even dream this success in your mind. And if you can't believe it, how are you going to get it in real life? And this is where you have to break this invisible barrier, this invisible ceiling that's around you. Maybe this means achieving a different level of income. Maybe this means a new career. Maybe this means a new job. Maybe this means following your dreams or doing something different. But you have to believe that you are going to achieve this success and this wealth for yourself. Because what wealthy people are able to do is they have this stubborn belief that I'm going to become successful. I don't care what you say, what you do, what's going to happen. I'm going to figure it out. And because they have this belief that I'm going to figure it out, their mind stays open. And when your mind stays open, you're able to look for different opportunities that everybody else would just walk by. And this is why I say that your wealth starts in your mind before you see it in your bank account. And this is why you have to change the way that you talk, which is why the first thing you need to say is, I will become wealthy. Not that I can become wealthy, not that I might become wealthy, not that I could potentially one day hopefully become wealthy, but that you will become wealthy. You have to change the way that you think. That way now you can start to think a little bit bigger. You can keep your mind open and start to see the opportunities that most people are completely ignoring. By the way, if this is something that you struggle with, what I want you to do is go out and read 5 books on personal development. That way you can start changing the way that you think about your life and your success. See, the real way to trick your mind to become wealthy is to open your mind to see possibilities that most people are completely overlooking. Because guess what? Most of us are going to walk past some sort of $1 million opportunity this week. And most people are just going to completely ignore it because our mind is shut down. But I want you to start opening your mind to see the possibilities, to see the potential success, instead of having a negative and closed mind, because you're never going to be able to see the opportunities and never going to be able to see the success, which is why the second thing that I want you to do in order to really trick your mind is you have to understand that money is just a tool. See, many of us, myself included, grow up being told something along the lines of money is bad, money is not good, don't worry about money, don't stress about money, money is taboo. Something along those lines where you're told, don't stress about this thing because maybe it's not good or it's just not important. We put around these smoke screens around money many times because we're insecure about our money, right? We're not taught about money, we're not taught about investing. And so when you hear about how these people are rich and you thought you did everything right, you're working hard, but you don't have that wealth, well, just don't worry about it, right? Because you don't understand it. But this is where I want you to understand that money is a tool. And the reality is it costs money to eat and it costs money to feed other people. Look, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't say what I say to make friends. I say what I say to help you be better with money. And the reality is it costs money to eat. It costs money to feed your kids. It costs money to take your wife to Disney World. It costs money to take your kids to Disney World. It costs money to buy your wife that dream purse that she wants. It costs money to take your family to wherever they want to go. And it costs money to take better care of your parents. Healthcare is expensive. Now you can hate it or you can understand it. Because if you don't have money, you're going to be at the mercy of people who do have money. Now you can hate it or you can understand it. That's what I want you to understand. And the reality is, money is just a tool. And you have to understand how money plays a part in your life. Because the reality is, money is important. But how does it play a part in your life? And what I have come to learn is I believe in something called the quadfit theory, which is if you want to live a happy and fulfilling life, you have to be fit in these 4 areas. At the very bottom is physical fitness. Because if you are unhealthy, all you want to do is be healthy again. If you're morbidly obese, if you're on your deathbed, nobody cares about how much money they have in the bank. All they care about is being able to breathe, being able to be healthy. So you got to take care of your physical fitness. Above that is you got to be mentally fit. Guess what? If you are anxious, if you're depressed, if you're surrounded by toxic people, it doesn't matter how much money you have. More money is going to make you more miserable. You got to work on the mental side of your fitness as well. How can you find your happiness in life? Can more money help you here? Sure, but it's not going to fix this problem by itself. You have to work on this by itself. Above the mental here is you also have to be spiritually fit. Now, this doesn't mean religious. Being spiritually fit means you understand your sense of purpose. Because the reality is, if you have $10 million in the bank, what is your reason for getting out of bed now? What's your reason for wanting to do something and succeed and having the motivation to do all that? Well, you got to have some sense of purpose. That's your spiritual fitness. You got to understand, why are you here? You want to start thinking about this too, because if you have the money, well, it can take that away if you don't have any other source of purpose. And then at the very top is financial fitness. Now, this is where it's all about your financial education. How do you build wealth? How do you invest money? How do you have the sense of financial freedom so you don't have to worry about money every single day? But notice, it's separate from each one of these. Because the reality is you have to be financially fit so you can live a free life. And you want to know the kicker here? If you're not financially fit, it can destroy your physical fitness. Because if you don't have money, well, then maybe you can't afford the healthy foods. Maybe you can't afford the gym. Maybe you're so stressed about money that you start eating bad. If you don't have money, it can destroy your mental health. Financial problems are one of the leading causes of divorce and suicide. If you don't have money, it can destroy your spiritual fitness. If you don't have money and you're always stressing about your bills, you can destroy your sense of purpose. And so, yes, you got to work on these independently, but they all tie into one another. And this is where you have to understand. Money is a tool. It plays a part in your life. And until you understand this and believe this, you're not going to be okay wanting to go get that money, because what's going to happen is you're going to say, yeah, I want to be able to pay my bills easier. Yeah, I want to be able to have this wealth, but I hate rich people. I hate the idea of having wealth. I hate the concept of wealth. Well, if you hate the concept of wealth, why would you want to do something that you hate? We don't do things that we don't like. We do things that we agree with. We do things that we believe in. And so if you believe in this idea of becoming wealthy, you will work towards that. But if you say, I want to become wealthy, and then on the other hand, you keep hating on this whole idea of becoming wealthy, how do you think you're going to become something that you want to hate? You see the discrepancy there? So you have to start changing the way that you think, and the way that you can fix your mindset here is by understanding how money is a tool, because the reality is money doesn't make you a good person, it doesn't make you a bad person. Money amplifies who you are, and we need more good people with money. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.